Very good morning to all. Let us have a review of previous lecture. Last lecture we have discussed about the characteristics of production system. These are the characteristics that every production system has an objective. Then the system transforms the various input into useful output. Then we have taken this example and we have then discussed the characteristics of the system and how that every stage some useful output or value is added. This we have discussed. Then it does not operate in isolation. Again, this same example and this example we have taken and we have discussed that how it is not operate in isolation and how it is connected with the further operation. And there exists a feedback about the activity to control and improve the system performance. This we have discussed. Then about operation. So we have discussed about this operation. It is defined as the transformation process and series of activities. The operation have different forms like physical, location, exchange, physiological, psychological, and informational. So these are the different things that we have discussed. Then we have discussed what is operation management. The role of operation is create value, and the operation management means to combine and transform the various resources in the operation subsystem in an organization into value added product. So combining and using the resources and converting into value added product in a controlled manner as the policies of the organization. So this we have discussed as the operation management. Then we have discussed about this production and operation management, the 8 different dimensions, all the functions responsible in production and operation management, planning, coordinating, and controlling the resources. This we have discussed. And now today, this is review about yesterday lecture. Today we will be discussing about the historical evolution of production and management, from where it starts, where is the origin of this production management. Now whatever we are discussing, where is the origin of this production management, and if time permits we will have discussion about this functions of production management and scope of production management. So these are the different things. So let us start. History. So I will take a brief review and I will try to elaborate at every stage. So very interesting part is this history. So in this history, from the start, it is not directly the case that production and operation means combining of all operations and using of CAD/CAM and quality related some things, approaches, and they are evolved and directly this evolution of production and operation management is started. No, very small steps, very you can say some of the steps in quality, some of the steps in advanced manufacturing, some of the steps in time study, work study, motion study. This all you have heard in industrial engineering. So these, and in the IQM also. So these are the some of the steps where it is it hides the evolution. So let us start the history of production and operation management. In 1776, specialization of labor in manufacturing, contribution by Adam Smith. Specialization of labor in manufacturing. Now what I am giving the example that highly skilled labor, semi-skilled labor. For example, a CNC operator, an ordinary operator cannot directly work on CNC. He should possess the skills of operating CNC. So highly skilled operator. So specialization of labor, that this particular worker can do fitting type job, turning type job, then smithy, then carpentry. So anybody cannot do all the types of work. So specialization of labor, and this introduction of the specialization of labor, that this person will do this job, this person will do this job. This is introduced or contributed by Adam Smith in 1776. So see, the contribution started in 1776 and it is started with the specialization of labor. So depending upon the skill sets that labor is having. So in ancient days, you can imagine that I have given the broader examples. You can just take smithy, you can just take carpentry, and again in smithy and carpentry also, the carpenter who is doing the final shape of the whatever the product is required to manufacture, and the carpenter is just cutting the trees and just producing the raw material. Again, there are some skill sets. So who is the who can produce this good quality raw material just cutting and in very fast way, because no accuracy is required, and the final product, good aesthetic approach. If ergonomics is required, for example chair, then some of that consideration. So who is that person who will give the final touch? Somewhat he is possessing somewhat skills. So the specialization of labor in manufacturing, depending upon the skills, the labors are categorized according to specialization. If the carpentry work, then he may not do or up to that fine level foundry related work. He may not do any iron or that other work of hammering, etc. He may not do turning or fitting, whatever type of job. So what he is specialized in carpentry, so specialization of labor in manufacturing. This is very first. Adam Smith. Further than 1799, interchangeable parts and cost accounting. Ely Whitney and others. So interchangeable parts. Interchangeable parts, it is a very great revolution, and due to this revolution only, nowadays any company is manufacturing only nuts, and any other company is manufacturing only bolts. So there is interchangeability, that the two parts will mating parts will having the appropriate fit, and they will work accordingly. Previously it was not there. So the where the nuts are manufacturing, bolts are required to manufacture at the same place. Just this is just nut and bolt. I am giving just example for better understanding. So whatever like these parts are there, maybe gear, maybe any assembly. So one part can be made at one place and other part can be made at other place. And the cost accounting concept. What is the cost associated for particular operation? Accounting. So there should be need to think on the cost. Not only producing of these components is essential or it will survive. So this thought or this was brought to or contributed by Ely Whitney and his team. Interchangeable parts and cost accounting. Interchangeability, the matching parts, whatever are they, one can be manufactured at one place, other can be manufactured at other place. Still, no rejection. They will definitely fit to each other. No problem at all. So like this, you can take the example of engine. It is not the case that engine is manufacturing. For example, nowadays, this is just I am giving under example, because these examples in 1799, you will say, sir, now you are giving the examples nowadays. Where is 1799? So for your understanding, you can take this main and piston, main and bearings, Kolhapur, Miraj MIDC. So they are manufacturing only piston. Some are manufacturing piston rings. So they are not manufacturing the complete engine, piston block. So interchangeability part, whether they will manufacture, the other parts will be manufactured by other company, but definitely they will fit in the engine and engine will work accordingly. So this is the concept of interchangeability. Then 1832, division of labor by skill. Assignment of job by skill and basics of time study. Charles Babbage. Division of labor by skill. So now in 1776 specialization is done, but now division of labor by skill and assignment of job by skill, that this particular worker, that this person is good at carpentry, we should assign him that job of carpentry. This is a good turner, this is a good smithy person. So with hammer and anvil, he can produce very nice components. So like that only job will be given to him. So again, depending upon the type of skill. For example, I have given you for rough type of work, no skill is required. Then in that case, the person or any worker who is having the capability of producing the more and more blocks with less time, such person can fit for that job. Where the more accuracy and the presentation and final touch is required, some skilled labor is required for that particular. So in this way, this so division of labor by skill. Let us first identify the unskilled, semi-skilled, and fully skilled or highly skilled worker, and then giving the jobs according to their skill. Now, what we are learning here, And what we are observing, that fitter, carpenter, then CNC operator, then ITR, different trends in ITR, whatever. Here is the origin, that division by skill, and then basics of time study. This is the origin, some basics of time study. Time study you have already learned. Then in 1900, so scientific management, time study and work study develop, dividing, planning, doing work. So you know this F.W. Taylor. You might have heard in industrial engineering also this name. And motion of study of jobs, Gilbert, F.B. Gilbert. So these two names you might have heard in industrial engineering. So what is this management of time study? What time is required for a particular job? Then work study. You already studied, therefore I will not go in detail. And then after this, dividing, planning and doing of work, and motion of study of job. Motion of study of job. So how the job is moving. First the job is entered in lathe machine, it will be there for 10 minutes. Then for moving it to milling machine, 3 minutes are required. Again milling operation of 1 hour. Again moving to drilling, 3 minutes are required. Again drilling, there is a waiting for that drilling particular job, and therefore it has the idle, job is idle for maybe half an hour. त्या जॉबचा नंबरच नाही आला, तिथं वेटिंग जास्त आहे. फॉर a Marathi I am giving example, bottlenecks. So half hour waiting. So this is the motion study, and after doing this motion study we will come to know that what is the complete cycle to produce that job, and if any problem is there, how to identify and how to we can say relocate the machine if required, or how to give the solution for that problem. So this is about this time study. Then method study, work study. So time study I have given you idea that and micro motion study is also there. So it is may come in next part. So these are the things introduced in by this F.W. Taylor and F.B. Gilbert, and maximum concepts related to this you already studied at industrial engineering. Okay, so I request all of you to please put your attendance in the chat box. So 1901, scheduling technique for employees, machine jobs in manufacturing. Scheduling techniques. So you might have heard the word scheduling also. So for employees, machine jobs, for example, one lathe machine is there. So scheduling should be there, that now one job will be there, it will take 1 hour. What is the next? What is the next? If some time is required between half an hour, or if any maintenance is there, and again. So scheduling for employees, what that person will do for that particular 8 hours, what that machine will do for particular 8 hours. So this is the scheduling technique, and this is very important nowadays. Whatever the process plans are prepared, this is the basic. Scheduling is the basic, and based on the scheduling only the process plans are prepared. So assigning that particular machine, that particular job, that particular employee for performing a particular task, scheduling. And it is the introduction 1901. So you try to understand, from specialization we have arrived up to scheduling techniques. Then 1915, economic lot size for inventory control. So this is by the last one is by Henry Gantt, then F.W. Harris, and now whatever we are discussing, economic lot size by F.W. Harris. Economic lot size for inventory control, very important. Inventory, what do you mean by inventory? Whatever the stock is available in the company, maybe of raw material, maybe of in process, and maybe of final product. Raw material before any processing, if you are having the plates, if you are having the forging, if you are having any material which you are using for converting it, it is nothing but the raw material, and whatever the stock is available, you can call it as inventory. In process, you have started the job, first operation is over, but it is not completed. So how many are in process from start to end? Job ची सुरू ऑपरेशन सुरुवात झालेली आहे पण फायनल प्रोडक्ट झालेलं नाही. In process inventory. And final product inventory, you have manufactured the product, you are now your 1000 motorbikes are ready with one of the company. Bikes are ready, you will dispatch it to warehouse, Then warehouse, you will dispatch it to wholesale and retail and showrooms, I can say. Okay, not wholesale, retail. Big showroom and our showrooms at our places, maybe taluka, maybe village, whatever. So this is nothing but the inventory. Unless and until it gets sold, up to that we will call it as inventory. So final product inventory, inventory in the shop, inventory at warehouse, and inventory at other places. So this is nothing but about the inventory. So economic lot size of inventory, for example, raw material. Now there is huge demand. There was, I will say, huge demand for this particular mask and sanitizers. So shortage of mask and you can say this N95 original now it is available at 20-40 rupees also. So whatever 200, 300, again some additional cost they are charging because non-availability. Sanitizer also the same case. So whatever the empty bottles having not value of 20 rupees also, they were also sold at 50 rupees, 80 rupees. So take the example from the initial stage, raw material. So what is raw material for producing that mask? Whatever that elastic part is there, lace I can call. So that was also shortage at that particular time. And now it is available in tremendous because now the demand is less because production is more. In that particular time, production was less. No any prediction about that this much mask may be required at particular due to this pandemic. So this is the inventory. So let us take example that any one example you take inventory. So in this inventory case, raw material, if your raw material is more and you are not processing it, then this inventory it may get corroded, it may get eroded. So you come to know that गंज लागू शकतो, वातावरणाचा परिणाम, लोखंड वगैरे ह्या रिलेटेड मटेरियल असेल तर. In between I am using Marathi for understanding and also change. So that may be also the case. If you are having any service sector like hotels, again perishable raw material is there. So in this case, your raw material, economic lot size, what is required? If I will purchase this lot size within 1 month, I will finish economic lot size. If I will purchase now tremendous, for example, that I assume that steel price is down and it may arise up to, for example, from 50 rupees per kg, it will 50% down, 25 rupees per kg. So it is not that case that now it is down by 50%. So I will purchase tons and tons. What is the ultimate use? So economic lot size. Then in process inventory, the raw material has started processing, but due to your 1 or 2 machine lockdown, or you can say 1 or 2 machine breakdown. Sorry, not lockdown, breakdown. So that 1 or 2 machine breakdown, that job will idle, waiting for machining by milling operation, waiting for machining by reaming operation, waiting for machining by CNC and final touch, because they are not final product. This is your in process inventory. And your final product, for example, you are manufacturing again cars or bikes, then a huge demand was there. For example, unicorn 6 months, I have given the example, waiting was there, and now I have double. I have gone for 2 more plants in India, for example, we are assuming, or 10 more plants in India, and now I am in a position to fulfill the demand. But if I am producing the bikes 1 lakh more than required, then that 1 lakh bike will not sold up to next month. Again, next month more 1 lakh will be there. So this is the final product inventory. Your product is ready, but it is not get sold. So what is required? Economic lot size of raw material, then proper study of that particular process, so that not much more inventory will be there. And at final stage also, what is economic lot size, what is required, and what is the time, maybe 15 days, 1 month, depending upon the condition. So this is nothing but economic lot size for inventory control. I have given you the inventory control of if what will happen if less inventory is there, what will happen if more inventory is there. So therefore economic is mentioned. Optimize the condition. It should not be much less, it should not be too more. Okay, if anybody is remaining, put your attendance by this text message or message in this particular Google Meet. Okay, then statistical inference applied to product quality control chart. Elton Mayo. Quality control charts. So in IQM, you might have studied this some of the charts. So for predicting the quality, there are Pareto analysis, 80-20 principle, Then there are Gantt charts. So these are different charts which are required for predicting the quality. Sampling applied, statistical sampling. So it is in next stage, sampling. So statistical interference, verify statistical interference means what? 100 jobs are there. So checking the quality of that particular 100 jobs, and then prediction about that 100 jobs with the help of the chart. With the help of the chart. So it is in 1931. In between 1927, human relations, the Hawthorne studies. Okay, human relations. So human relations, HR here comes in play. So what are the needs of that particular human who is acting as a worker, and how the production can be increased based on the human relation. It is not the case that you just go for tailing the work, and by using orders only the work will get accomplished. Not at all. So there should be some HR policies, human relations. Some demands are there from the worker side also, so it should be taken. Some allowances are required in between for the worker relaxation also, to avoid the fatigue due to it is coming due to the monotonous work. So this HR concept is evolved in 1927. Then 1931, the statistical interference, that 100 jobs are there. Now I will take the statistical interference in our division. For example, let us assume that 80 or we can say 76 students are there. Statistical interference based on the result, that I can say 10 out of 10, 10 students, then above 9, 75 out of 75, 65 students, over, finish. 65 plus 10, no one is below 9, or you can say 10 are below 9 also. So this is statistical, and again you can go by subject wise also. So this is your result analysis placed in front of you in a statistical way. Statistically, in the same way, the job quality control charts are there. The quality control different charts, they given by Shewhart, W.A. Shewhart. So this is evolved in 1931, and further this statistical sampling applied to quality control. In the previous case, for making the statistical chart, 100 samples are there. We have to go for 100 samples analysis. But sampling, taking just 5 samples or 10 samples, and if the 10 samples are good, then it is said that 100 jobs are good. Any random 10 samples are selected. So this is sampling method. From your class, interview of 8 students will be taken, 10%, and based on the interview, the remark is given that BA or BTech final year A division, outstanding performance, all students having excellent quality. What this is based on? Not all 75 students interview has been taken. Interview taken for only 8 students. 7.5, I am saying 8 students. Okay, so out of 75. And this is the sampling. So testing 1 or 2 cases or percent, 5%, 10%, 15%, depending upon the requirement, sampling, random collection, and there are different sampling plans, how to take sampling. And based on this, the quality of the whole product or whole lot is defined. So this is the sampling. Okay, 1935. Then 1940, operation research application in World War II. Now you have studied complete OR. So that CPM, PERT, and the methodologies, and what is operation research, how we can minimize it, and how efficiently such work can be performed in World War II. This OR study has been evolved, 1940. PM Blanker. Then digital computers. Digital computers evolved in 1946. So this, see, you try to correlate. We are discussing from 1776 how this evolution of production and operation management. So before 1940, there was no concept of this operation research and CPM and PERT. So like this, I am trying to explain. In 1946, the digital computer is evolved for using the different things or different process like this in production and operation. Digital computer first time. Then 1947, linear programming. So the programming is introduced in 1947. G.B. Danzig, Williams, and others. So this is evolved by these, contributed by these persons. Okay, so the evolution of the linear programming. is one of the very important step, because this from the linear programming, whatever now we are observing, the fully automated CNC, VMC, and this controlled machine, the evolution is observed, you can see, at 1947. Then 1950, mathematical programming on linear and stochastic processes by Charles Cooper and others. So mathematical programming in 1950, it is next step of linear programming. Then 1951, commercial digital computer. So in 1946 only one computer or some of the having this computer case, but 1951 commercial digital computer, large scale computations available. So this is one of the evolution in the history of form in 1951. And now we can say whatever CNC, VMC, and other all controlled processes by using the help of computer we are using. The evolution started in 1951. Then 1960, organizational behavior. You can correlate this 1960 with 1927, economic relations. Sorry, human relations. So human relations, it is related to human, and now the study is further extended to organizational behavior. Continued study of people at work. So people study, and not only the only one person, but organization from different studies, maybe up to managerial level, maybe up to top managerial level, and up to the bottom of whatever last part of labor or whatever last element of that particular organization, and try to linking the study. This is 1960 related to organizational behavior by UNIVAC. The study is proposed in 1960. Now 1970, very important. Whatever is we have discussed, they are all discrete, means labor, then skill, then motion study, time study, economic lot size, then human relations, organization study, operation research, quality control, linear programming, mathematical programming, everything it is discrete. Now integration operation into overall strategy and policy. Integrating operations. So let us take 2-3 operations from this and integrate into it. Computer application to manufacturing, scheduling, control, and MRP. Here see CAPP, computer aided process planning. Computer, by using this computer, you can go for statistical quality control, SQC. Then material requirement planning, MRP, by using this computer. So it is integrated process. The use of computer for process planning, the use of computer for production planning, the use of computer for in manufacturing also. So this is the integrating is very important step. And 1980, the quality and productivity applications from Japan. So there are different concepts you might have studied in IQM. Again, we will also go for some introduction like Kaizen, then Kanban, then just in time. These are the different techniques which are given by Japan to the world. And the effective. Now, if you visit any industry, we say there is written our industry is implementing Six Sigma. Then our industry is implementing 5S. Then our industry is implementing that Kanban technology. So what is this? That these are the different technologies evolved in Japan. Japan used for that. And then it is given by Deming and Juran. Then robotics and CAD-CAM. This use of robots at commercial level, and CAD-CAM, computer aided design and computer aided manufacturing. So preparing the plans on computer, execution through computer by using CNC, and this integration of this CAD and CAM application. And nowadays you can see the evolution of ERP system also. By sitting at one place also you can monitor the complete shop. So nowadays complete commercialization, you can say CIM, computer integrated manufacturing is there. So this you can consider as starting from the design of the product, development, then process planning, material requirement planning, then whether the product is purchased, whether it is available, then actual production planning, the programs required for producing it, that CAM, then quality control, monitored, rejection, final product up to dispatch. Everything is now computerized. So this is the brief history, we can say, somewhat lengthy part, but it is required. Therefore, I have tried to give focus related to this. So this is historical evolution of this production and operation management, starting from specialization in labor up to this different CAD/CAM related specialization. Okay, friends, let us move further. Functions of production management. The activities of production department of an organization are grouped into two categories. The activities that convert the available capital into physical resources required for production, and the activities that convert physical resources into sellable goods and services. See, two different parts are there. The activity which will convert the capital, for example, any firm is investing 5 crores into physical resources that required for production. Now here, that purchase of any machinery, the shop and the quality control regarding instruments, the cranes and the hoist required for material handling. So design of material handling system, then actual equipments, the production system, the quality control unit and other facilities, whatever required. So that capital is utilized into physical resources, not actual production is going on. Whatever required for production, it is mentioned here. So it comes under this convert the capital into physical resources. And second part is now resources are ready. So what is next? The activities that convert physical resources to a sellable goods or services. So by using the facilities, you will start production and you will go for sellable goods and services which can be sold. So these are the two parts. First, your capital is invested into creating the resources for production, and then second, the activities that convert the physical resources to a sellable goods. So let us have example. So you can take any example when we will take from manufacturing sector. If you want to fabricate a bike, then what are the different things required, machinery required, whatever the robots required. So starting from fabrication. Now any company, you take example of Tata, Bajaj, Honda, whatever. So no any company, they are manufacturing just some of the chassis and engine part, and all others are outsourced. Outsource means they are given to any other firm for production, and then they are just assembling. So what is required setup? The one assembly line, continuous line is required, and once the chassis is loaded on that particular line, so fabrication of the chassis and the part, you can call it as the structure. In Marathi, I will take the help of this one word, Sangada. So what is required, that is made, and then it is given, it is taken on the assembly line, and further you will get the final bike, or you can say the final car. So structure body, I am combining the example, two wheeler or four wheeler. Chassis is applicable for four wheeler, and two wheeler you can take the whatever the basic structure is required. Then finally you will get the complete fabricated bike. So what are the different resources required? Maybe paint shop, electrical, assembly shop, then quality control, inspection, dispatch, then testing, whatever is required. So these are all the things that convert available capital. For example, 10 crores into a for fabric means into a plant which will produce the bikes or which will produce the cars. And now second, convert the physical resource to a saleable goods. Now taking the different outsourced parts, for example, nut, bolt, then indicators, headlights, these are fabricated by small vendors. So collecting from all these and then assembling to saleable goods, and you will get a car or bike which is saleable. Like this service also, you can take the same example for this. You can take here the any service example. Now you take same example, extend, we will extend that a showroom or garage. So whatever the available facilities for that particular showroom is required, so whatever the spanners and set and whatever the for washing purpose, etc., whatever the facilities required for servicing, that will convert the capital into physical facilities, and then service to a saleable goods or services. If any bike or any car will approach for servicing purpose, then the servicing will be done, and this is creation of service. So these are the two different examples which I have applied for this particular point, that activities that will convert the available capital into physical resources, and the activities that will convert the physical resources into saleable goods or services. Okay. In carrying out the above activities, the production department must fulfill the following activities. So production of goods at the right time in sufficient quantity to meet the demand. Production good at minimum possible cost and production of good at acceptable quality. So while fulfilling the above two functions, or I will say second function, the production of goods at right time. So whenever is required, what is the delivery schedule is there, or depending upon the market, you can say the requirement. Now you can take the best example. Nowadays, the corona vaccine or vaccination is available at many places, maybe paid or many maybe free. So before 3 4 months, you will find a huge rush because that is the gap. Production of goods, you can say production of that particular vaccine at right time in sufficient quantity to meet the demand. This was not there. Demand is very very huge. In one day, for example, 1 crore dose you can consume. Maybe first dose, second dose, again that is different. And the goods available maybe 10 lakh. So daily 90 lakh people are waiting, but they are not getting the dose for vaccination. Then production of good at minimum possible cost. Here are some of the examples that we can take. So government has given us free, that is different part. But initially the dose was at 250, nowadays 780 rupees. Then you can take this any other dose at maybe 1150 or approximately I can say 1200 rupees. So depending upon the different companies. So Covishield is there, then any other companies you can refer. So Covaxin is there. So they are having their different costs. And again, some of the doses may cost at 4,000, 5,000, 8,000, 10,000. This is just example I am giving you. Minimum possible cost and acceptable quality. Now I don't want to comment on any of the doses. All doses are good. No problem at all. But still, as a from a review of this particular all doses, this Sputnik is very very highly preferred, having price approximately 1200. Then second preferred is in our area or in India we can say Covishield, and very less people are preferring this Covaxin. So it is not the case as Covaxin is not good, but this is the just the comparison made by someone and having some news. It may be wrong, no problem. Just I want to give you just here example. I don't want to say anything good or anything bad. Okay, so this is just example. So production of good at right time in sufficient quantity to meet the demand. Now this vaccination, you can take the good example which can be fit here. And now this is also due to the pandemic. Now the same situation or same production of these goods will continue. Then now a situation is that it is available everywhere. And after 1 year, it is not required that production has to be stopped or is to be required to 50%, 20%, depending upon the need and demand of that particular vaccination. Very, very important concept. So next you will come to know that the functions of production personnel. The last time, why I have given you the example of vaccination, here the same example will continue. Whatever the last slide we have discussed, that function of production management, it will come here, functions of production personnel. Forecasting the demand for product and using the forecast to determine the requirement of various factors of production. Take the same example, forecasting the demand for product. For example, now you take the example of this particular vaccine also. So forecasting the demand, it was the very high demand. So nowadays the demand can be matched. It is available. But if the same production, nowadays production is going in very high rate. If the same production is continued, then it may be the case that after 6 months 1 crore, 2 crore, 5 crore, 10 crore doses are available, but no one will take because it is only 2 doses and some guidelines are there. So accordingly, this is forecasting the demand and to determine the requirement of various factors for production. So not only forecasting, vaccination is required. It is one, but what are the other things required? So very first the creation of that particular or generation of that particular medicine. So what is required? Which type of plant is required? Whether I should go for any other plant? And then the other things, factors of production. So labor required, the bottles required, and the safety precautions and the quality standards and the mark and the testing required for it. This is just one example of vaccination. You can take any other example forecasting the demand for the product. So you can take here. We will go for some other example. Let us have example of mobile. So again, continuous. So whatever mobile you have taken maybe 1 year back. So now one or two new models may be available as per as that particular model is model for that mobile is concerned. So again, some of the models are removed from the market. You will not get also the cover and accessories for that particular model. Forecasting the demand. You can take here example of mobile. You can take service sector. Here big example you can take of this hotel management. So in between, no hotels were open and like that. And after they have started the home delivery. So forecasting the demand, though they have started the home delivery. This is example I am giving for service sector. So in the initial stage, very less response was there. No one is trying for this home delivery also, or no one is trying for going to hotel and taking the parcel and come to home. But now the trend is changed. People are visiting hotel. So this is forecasting. Before 6 months, what was scenario? Before 1 year, what was scenario? And today, what is scenario? Continuous forecasting the demand. Forecasting is nothing but predicting the demand for product and requirement. You should be in a position to fulfill that particular requirement. For example, hotel. Now, if you get immediately 50% order for a dinner and you are not having that material, only 20, then again that person will wait or they will choose other hotel. That is different option. Forecasting the demand. This is the function of production personnel. Arranging for procurement of required factors of production. This is the I have given example. Arranging for procurement of required factors. So let us take example of service sector. Just now I have given you that hotel management. So based on the demand, sufficient material should be available in order to go for it. Then if there is a national holiday, if there is a curfew, if there is any other thing, so that very less people will to go to visit hotel. Then accordingly, or if any, you can say, just I am giving different types of examples for understanding. Upwas or any other festival where some separate items are preferred, then if that person will go for that particular item, seasonal, then again good scope is there. So arranging the procurement of required factors for production. And then in case you can take example of mask, what is required for production of mask. So arranging that particular thing for this production of mask. Then if you are anyone company is fabricating the robot, then what are the mechanical component, what are the electrical component, what are the sensors required, and what is the demand for that robot, and based on this all the things required to be arranged. So nowadays this is the era we can say of electrical vehicles. So EV very less component for contribution from electrical side, so it is nothing but a purely mechanical vehicle and then addition of this electric vehicle related components. So what are the different factors required for production of this EV, or you want to go for hybrid, electric plus solar plus petrol, a complete hybrid vehicle. Based on the condition it will run. For example, this bike I want to manufacture. So what is forecast? What is demand? Whether government has given permission for such bikes. And if I want to fabricate, then what are the different procurement required for, or what I have to purchase for production? What should be with me? Then arranging for the services such as maintenance, storekeeping, material handling, inspection and quality control that would be required to attain the targeted level of production. Next example, if I am manufacturing any electrical vehicle, then what are the maintenance required for that? Maintenance means not after maintenance. While I am manufacturing in any industry, there are electrical and mechanical maintenance persons always available. If some problem happens, then these persons are continuously required for production purpose. Okay. If anyone is remaining to put his or her attendance, then put in the chat box roll number. Okay, so storekeeping, material handling. Storekeeping. So what are the continuous for storekeeping is nothing but the additional things required you will get in these stores in the any of you take our example of our college also, there is central store. You take example of any industry, there is store where you will get the tool chips and the tool. If you want to use drill, then drill bits you will get. Then what tool you are using, the tool chip you will get in the store. Then whatever the accessories required for your grinder, grinding wheel, etc., everything you will get in the store. So that particular person, that store related. Then inspection and quality control and material handling. So what type of material handling you will use? Overhead cranes, then ordinary crane, then hoist, then manually operated materials, then small trucks and trolleys. Which type of material you will use and what is requirement? Inspection and quality control. At what stages the inspection should be carried out, and what are the quality checks at different stages, and which product I will call it as a good product and I can dispatch that product to the customer. This also required to be decided. These are the to attain the targeted level of production. One product I am manufacturing in 1 hour and the quality control and inspection is going for 2 hours, then it is of no use. That means there is some quality checks in between, and final only some checks are required. So that everywhere time optimization is also important. Utilizing effectively the factors of production and service facilities. These are the function of production personnel we are discussing. Utilizing effectively the factors of production and service facilities available to produce the product. Whatever available in. For example, everywhere there is something mentioned. For example, you are welding. So for welding a particular plate of, you can say, so 10 kg welding rods are required. So the packet will come in kg. The rod cannot be consumed. So whatever last some part is, it will remain as it is. So how the welder is utilizing? What is the current and voltage he is using? What are the spatters that will come out of that welding? And how he is depositing the material. Based on all these, one welder can complete that particular joint in 9 kg. One welder may require 10, one welder may require 11 kg. So using effectively the available sources, factors for production. What is available, how we can use it effectively, and the service facilities, maintenance, inspection, quality control, whatever. So effective use is important because cost is added in that particular component only to produce the product. Okay, friends. So today we have discussed in detail about this historical evaluation for production and management, and then we have discussed about the functions of production management, and then what production personnel should do. So forecast the demand, arrange for procurement of the factors required, then arranging the different services such as maintenance, stores, then inspection, quality control, and utilizing effectively the factors for production. So these are the different things that require for production.